I'm Felicia,
And I'm Ian.
and we are the Paranormal Lovers.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of the Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys,
Hey, guys.
thanks for joining us for another week, episode 102.
102.
102. Not sorry for missing last week. Sometimes life gets to you, and it's been kind of hectic lately.
We've been real busy.
We have been, and I've even been busy at work because we're shut down for 2 weeks, and people are like, "Oh, that's great. You're gonna take a vacation?" No, we're resetting and remodeling the store, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be chaos for the next 2 weeks.
We'll be moving a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, I might be bringing you with me on a Friday. All
Yeah,
right,
I mean, I could do that.
let's get this business out of the way. If you are a fan of uncovering hidden history, give our show Rethinking Our History a try. The only way we can stop the trajectory of this country is to learn from the mistakes of the past.
Yeah.
We will be at the Hauntland Paranormal Convention March 14th through the 16th on Lanier Islands on Lake Lanier. There is a link in the show notes for tickets, and if you are brown, I recommend staying in Gainesville. If you would be so kind, please give us a follow and like on social media and YouTube. Just search for the Paranormal Lovers on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you would like to support the pod, we have a couple ways to do so. First, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/paranormal lovers, where for $5 a month, you get early access to unedited videos of both shows, as well as stickers and other swag periodically.
Come get some stickers.
And some swag. Sorry, guys. My nose is hurting because of my CPAP mask. It was hurting my nose last night. So if I keep touching my nose, that's why I have a sore from that silicone on my nose and it hurts. I have some new designs I'm working on. Give me another month or two on the merch store at theparanormallovers.threadless.com. We still have some cute designs up, though, that once they're gone, they'll be gone for good. So if you liked any of them in the last few months, go get it while it's still there.
Yeah.
And finally, if you have a personal story, be it true crime, paranormal, historical, or a topic request, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. So what did you love about this week, Bill?
This week, I was listening to YouTube, of course, and I found a punk rock artist from North Carolina. He's from Lexington. It's real interesting. His name's NASCAR Aloe.
NASCAR Aloe.
He's real hardcore punk, and I dig him. It's pretty cool.
That's good.
What did you love about this week, baby?
Well, I realized that veiling, aka keeping my head covered at work, actually helps me not get as overstimulated and overwhelmed as work.
Sure.
Because we have a lot of people with a lot of emotions that come in our store, and I'm very sensitive to that sometimes. So I've loved that I learned that helps.
Is that why I wear a hat so much?
Probably. That's probably why you're so calm all the damn time, because you always got a hat on. You're like, nope, can't get me. I also love that we're shut down for 2 weeks, but I don't love that what we're doing for these 2 weeks. It's going to be
hectic.
Oh, it's going to be so much. 38 IKEA shelves, man.
Yeah, that's a lot to build.
So many bookshelves.
You're going to hate IKEA after this couple of weeks.
So much. All right. So a few weeks ago, I found a podcast called Sleepy History. It's a sleep stories podcast. One of the episodes that I listened to was about El Dorado.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know,
the city,
El Dorado is a lost city that, for some reason, people like to believe that like aliens came down to help the indigenous people build these great architectural things, or that they somehow held mystical superpowers. And it's like, no, they were just really smart, and then people with guns came over and killed them.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Right.
From the 7 lost cities of gold to El Dorado, quote unquote, explorers have attempted to find the cities that many believe are bursting with treasures. This week we are going to cover the story of Percy Fawcett and the lost city of Z. In 2016, Charlie Hunman portrayed Percy Fawcett, a British explorer who disappeared in 1925 while searching for a city he had named the Lost City of Z, or Zed. While the movie is a dramatization of what people believe happened to the men, much of it did come from the known reports of Percy's movements and preparations for the journey. And yeah, if you look it up, you'll have to look up like Percy Fawcett, Lost City of Z, or something like that. Because if you just look up Lost City of Z, it's just going to bring up the movie.
Right.
Which, like, go watch the movie. It's fucking fantastic.
Sure.
Percy Harrison Fawcett was born on August 18th, 1867, to parents Edward Boyd Fawcett and Myra Elizabeth in Turkey, Devon, in England, which we do have some listeners from that Turkey. I'm sorry, I know I'm not saying that right. Turkey, Devon, in England. We have listeners. Hi, friends.
Hey, guys.
The Fawcett family had made their fortune in the shipping industry during the 18th and 19th centuries. Edward Fawcett had been born in India and was a member of the Royal Geological Society, or RGS. I believe Percy's older brother, Edward Douglas, was also a member, as well as a mountaineer, occultist, and author. So, like, wow. Sadly, while Edward had been born into aristocracy, he struggled with alcoholism and drank away much of the family's fortune. The family was able to scrape up enough money to give Percy a good education. While alcohol would not be his downfall, his obsession would mirror his father's addiction. During his school years in the 1880s, Percy attended Newton Abbot Preparatory College. Sometimes when you look at a word, it's not spelled the way you think it should be. It sounds.
Went to a prep college.
Yeah.
A prep school.
Which was also attended by Burlram Fletcher Robinson, a mutual friend of his and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Sherlock.
After he attended the Royal Military Academy at God fucking hell.
Woolwich.
I don't know why that's so hard. July 14th, 1886, Percy was commissioned as a lieutenant of the Royal Artillery. That same year, Percy met Anna Angus Patterson. The two would have a rough go of it at first, with some sources claiming his mother told Percy a lie about Nina not being a virgin.
Oh, no.
Forbid. And he broke up with her.
Oh, jeez.
But 15 years after they first met, the two would go on to get married and have 3 children together, Jack, Brian, and Joan.
They Netflixed and chilled.
For a real fucking long time. On January 13th, 1896, Percy was appointed, adjutant of the 1st Cornwall Artillery Volunteers. June 15th, 1897, he was promoted to captain. Percy would serve in Hong Kong, Malta, and Trincomalee, Ceylon. Percy became a member of RGS in 1901 to study surveying and map making. He also worked for the British Secret Services in North Africa and served for the War Office on Spike Island in County Cork from 1903 to 1906. During his deployment on January 11th, 1905, Percy was promoted to major. It is also during this time he befriended Sir Henry Rider Haggard and Conan Doyle. The latter later going on to use reports of Percy's exploration of the Amazon jungle as inspiration for his book, The Lost World.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, fucking makes sense. All those like fucking rich guys were hanging out and exploring and shit together.
Right.
To be rich and white during this time, god damn, it must have been amazing. Percy's first trip to South America happened in 1906 when he was sent to Brazil by the RGS. The society had been commissioned as an outside third party to map out part of the jungle bordering Bolivia. Percy would make several fantastic claims about this trip to the jungle. He claimed that he shot a 62-foot or 19-meter giant anaconda and claimed to have seen a small cat dog-like creature the size of a foxhound. He also have claimed to have twice seen the giant Aparuca spider. Don't look it up. I did. That was a mistake.
Giant spider.
Yeah, which is believed to have poisoned several locals, a giant venomous spider.
Hmm.
Between 1906 and 1924, Percy went on 7 expeditions to South America. He had an amicable relationship with the local natives through gifts, patience, and being courteous. In 1908, Percy traced the Rio Verde to its source. In 1910, he retired from the military and traveled to Heath River to locate its source. Lots of locating sources of rivers back then, too.
Yeah.
It was during this expedition that Percy first met the, I'm so sorry, Guerrero natives. This meeting is well represented in the movie. The group was traveling down the river when all of a sudden they were under attack by poisoned spears. The rest of the group took cover and began singing Soldiers of the Queen. Percy, however, removed his handkerchief from his pocket and began waving it while slowly walking to the shore with his arms opened. And I remember this, I can vividly picture this scene in the movie.
Yeah.
The group was then welcomed to their village as guests. They later met the Ekoja people, and after seeing their ingenuity, he began to see how an ancient civilization could have thrived in the jungle. In 1911, Percy, his longtime travel companion Henry Costin, and biologist and polar explorer James Murray traveled to the Amazon and charted hundreds of miles of previously unexplored jungle, at least unexplored by Europeans.
Right.
Right? They're all like, oh, we must explore this. We don't know what's going on out here. And it's like, y'all, there's people that live there.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know and they haven't raised the jungle down to build a city doesn't
Right.
mean it's unexplored.
Yep.
Sorry, hang now. Percy had begun to research old documents from conquistadors and colonizers of the past. By 1914, he was of the belief that there were possibly several lost cities within the jungles of the globe, and the lost city of Z was his first goal. After all his research, Percy believed that the city he was searching for would look like this. Quote, I expect the ruins to be monolithic in character, more ancient than the oldest Egyptian discoveries. Judging by inscriptions found in many parts of Brazil, the inhabitants used an alphabetical writing allied to many European and Asian scripts. There are rumors, too, of a strange source of light in the buildings, a phenomenon that filled with terror the Indians who claimed to have seen it. The central place I call Z, our main objective, is a valley surmounted by lofty mountains. The valley is about 10 miles wide, and the city is on an eminence in the middle of it, approached by a barreled roadway of stone. The houses are low and windowless, and there is a pyramid temple. The inhabitants of the place are fairly numerous. They keep domestic animals, and they have well developed mines in the surrounding hills. Not far away is a second town, but the people living in it are of an inferior order to those of Z. Further south is another large city, half buried and completely destroyed. End quote.
Hmm.
And here's the thing: Percy had a good relationship with the natives and the locals, and like he was respectful of them and their culture.
Sure.
But he kind of also thought they were inferior
Right.
to white people, and he believed that they could have had these ancient civilizations, but not without the help of Europeans first.
Right.
I'm like, Percy, come on, man.
All the best intentions, just
kind of fucked up about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once World War I started, Percy went back to Britain to serve. At almost 50 years old, Percy volunteered for duty in Flanders and commanded an artillery brigade. In November of 1916, 17, and 18, Percy received mentions and dispatches from the Field Marshal, was awarded the Distinguished Service Order in June of 1917, and on March 1st, 1918, he was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. It's another person, 50 years old, and I'm like tired at all he's done in his life. Like, can you take a nap, sir? When the war ended, Percy went back to Brazil to study archaeology and local wildlife. In 1920, Percy set off on a solo expedition to find Z, but was forced to go home when he had to shoot his pack animal and he caught a fever.
Mm.
But just 4 years later, Percy would set out on the journey that would cement his name in exploration history. In 1924, Percy was able to secure funding for one more expedition from a group of financial backers known as the Glove.
That's not sketchy.
I'm like, that sounds like some shit they be doing up at the Grove Arcade or something.
Yeah.
Like, I could literally see these people in my mind's eye, like sitting around a table at the Biltmore estate, like being all fancy, rich, and creepy.
Right.
Joining him for this trip was his oldest son, Jack, and Jack's good friend, Raleigh Rimmel. And which is really sad, Raleigh is not in the movie at all, which is kind of fucked up.
Right.
Before he left, Percy left instructions stating, quote, if the expedition did not return, no rescue expedition should be sent, lest the rescuers suffer his fate, end quote. Percy was a seasoned explorer who was well equipped for this journey. Some of their supplies included canned foods, powdered milk, guns, flares, and a sextant and chronometer. If you don't know, those last two are celestial navigation devices because, like, there's no GPS, folks.
No.
His son Jack and friend Raleigh were chosen due to their health, ability, and loyalty to each other. He also chose only 2 companions to keep travel light and hopefully to avoid the attention of the more hostile natives of the jungle. So, like, he already knew that there were communities of natives in the jungle that did not want any fucking thing to do with them.
Right.
So, like, he knew.
Yeah.
April 20th, 1925 saw Percy, Jack, and Raleigh all leave Cuiaba, the capital of the Brazilian state of Mato Grosso. With the 3 explorers were 2 Brazilian workers, 2 horses, 8 mules, and a pair of dogs, which seems like a lot if you're trying to be inconspicuous.
For sure.
2 horses and 8 mules?
Right.
And a pair of dogs? Sir. The final letter received from Percy was written to his wife Nina on May 29th. Written from their camp named Dead Horse Camp, the letter seemed normal. It gave their location and stated that they were ready to go out, just the 3 of them, into the unexplored jungle.
So wait, how did they get a letter out?
Like the workers that were with them, or they were like natives. They would pay natives to run it back into the city or something.
Right.
Like, yeah. Some sources state that the coordinates given were wrong for the actual location of the camp. This led some to question whether Percy was of his right mind when he wrote the letter, while others question if it was intentional to throw off anyone who might intercept the letter and try and find said lost city. While Percy had left instructions that no rescue party be sent to find them, thousands of people volunteered to try and find them.
Right.
It was something like 8 or 13, I can't remember which one, search parties that were sent out.
They were looking for the city of gold, so.
Well, it's also that, but like, Percy was a decorated war hero.
Yeah.
Too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it wasn't just about the lost city of gold. Like, this man was.
People wanted to find him.
Yeah, he was an icon.
Yeah.
They were like, oh shit. And sources vary on how many people lost their lives during these missions. While some state that at least 100 people died, others state this number is severely exaggerated and only 1 man lost his life. So, I don't know. Either 100 people died or 1. Still, it's exactly what Percy didn't want.
Yeah.
In 1952, the Kapalos offered up a skull that they claimed was Percy's skull, but after some time it was found to be the skull of a former chief. The tribe had tried to give them something in the hopes it would stop the exploration on their land. They were like, take the skull.
Like, we
killed him. Leave us alone, please. And they were like, no. According to the oral history of the tribe, Percy, Jack, and Raleigh did make it to their village. While there, the people gave them food and drink, but warned them to not go any further into the jungle, for there were hostile tribes that would kill them. Another possibility was that they had a run-in with bandits that were making their home in the jungle and attacking any travelers who had the misfortune of crossing their path.
Right.
After the war, some of the soldiers fled the military to the jungle. There were many reports during this time of people being robbed and killed by the bandits of the Amazon. So not only do you have to deal with the fucking locals that don't know what nothing to do with your ass, which, like, valid. Now you got fucking bandits out here robbing people like it's fucking Wild West. Sir, you're in the Amazon jungle. Calm down. You got
Had to be
food everywhere.
had to be a crazy expedition.
Right? Unfortunately, we may never know what happened to these men out there in the Amazon jungle. That jungle is the size of the lower 48 of the US,
Right.
of the contiguous United States. That's how big the Amazon jungle is. It is 3,000 miles from the West Coast to the East Coast.
That's amazing. I want to go.
There are caves, pits, and rotten trees all over the forest floor that could break an ankle and leave you stranded. And even if they did die from being out in the jungle, it's not likely we'll ever find their bones. What I was thinking of when I wrote that part was that the climb of the Tepui or whatever, the Alex Arnold show where he went, I think it was the Amazon, or he
Yeah, it
went
was
into
somewhere.
a jungle and they had to go climb up this like rock face thing to like check out the flora and fauna on top.
Yeah.
But it was so hard getting through the jungle.
Yeah.
That like the scientist they brought with him, he ended up having to like stop halfway through and camp because he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, so say they fell, broke their ankle, died there. Well, you got animals that are going to come scavenge their bones.
Yeah.
And then you got trees that are going to fall.
Yeah.
Those trees are going to fall on top of them, decay, go down. More trees are going to fall of them, decay, go down. And at this point, this was 100 years ago. They disappeared 100 years ago. Holy shit, I just made that connection. Wow. Jesus, Felicia. 100 years ago, this year, Percy Fawcett disappeared.
Wow.
So you're talking about 100 years worth of jungle vegetation, growth, and death and decay on top of their bodies.
Yeah.
We're never going to find them.
They'll never be found.
Like, and that's unfortunate. And I blew my own fucking mind. I didn't realize it's 100 years this May.
That's kind of cool.
May 25th, it will be 100 years since Percy Fawcett disappeared.
You psychic that shit.
I mean, yeah, I am. I don't like it. That's why I say hi. The most likely theory is that they did meet one of the more hostile tribes and were killed. And I, for one, can't be mad at them for that.
No.
I can't. I wish more of our ancestors had murdered the colonizers instead of welcoming them so openly.
Right.
And I know it's a fucked up thing to say, and people are like, "Oh, how could you say that, motherfucker?"
I'm sure the natives here did too.
Go listen to my history podcasts.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, "Oh, okay." So what do you think of Percy Fawcett and his hunt for the lost city of Z?
That's amazing. I bet he had a really good time doing it.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch that movie again. Like, we're going to have to watch that movie because, like, it's obviously, like I said, it's dramatized.
Yeah.
In one of the articles
I've never seen
I read,
it, though, so.
I feel like we watched it once.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I was like, it came out in 2016. And I've seen it at least twice. So.
Yeah.
Shit, what was I going to say? Yeah, they said that, like, he wasn't as enthusiastic as he is in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That he pretty much had to be like drugged back out there or something like that, or maybe it was vice versa. I don't remember. But like they said that like in the movie he like talks to like a witch or like a medium or something to try and get clues and help him out. That one thing where they met that one tribe and they're getting like shot at, that was valid. So a lot of it is very closely to what they know happened.
Yeah.
But then there's shit that we don't know, and the movie obviously has its own theory about what happened to them and kind of leaves it open.
Sure.
But I don't know, it's fascinating. I just love lost cities. Like there's something about that ancient civilization that's like, I don't even care about the gold and the treasure.
It's just mysterious.
I want to learn about the ancient civilization and how these people thrived in this place that white people are like, oh, don't go there. It's wet and muddy.
Right.
Okay. And also, how do they survive with all these the ants that are in the Amazon jungle, the snakes in the Amazon jungle, the jaguars in the Amazon jungle, the ants?
You definitely have to have a certain set of skills to be able to, go through a jungle.
Like, I'm thinking about, we like to watch Naked and Afraid or Alone. And I'm like, how? How did these people survive in hundreds of years? And like, we're just like struggling over here, struggling
They
so
uh
hard.
they knew their land.
They
That's where they
did.
came from.
I think, obviously, that's the answer right there, right? They know the land. They are not even that. It's not. Hang on, let me get my thoughts together. I don't even know if it's so much that they knew the land, their land. I think it was that they lived
Harmoniously.
there. Thank you. I was like, what the word? Yeah, they lived harmoniously with nature. They are one with nature because they are nature.
Yeah.
We seem to forget we have houses, we have technology, we have lights, plumbing, running water. We seem to forget that we're animals.
Yeah.
We are literal mammals, the same as that dog out there in the living room.
Yeah.
We are meant to live in nature. We are meant to be one with nature.
It's true.
And that's why you guys need to, I don't know, learn something.
Get outside.
Get outside. It's supposed to be warmer today, so hopefully we can enjoy some fresh air today.
Yeah, maybe.
We got to go to lunch in a couple hours with your mom.
Yeah.
Because it was her birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Happy belated birthday, Grandma. Sorry, we just said it at the end of the episode. You know. All right, friends. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know on social media or via email what you guys think happened to Percy, Jack, and Raleigh out there in that jungle. Also, make sure you have listened to episode 101 because part 2 will be coming out next week.
Yeah.
Injured Code.
I gotta get that written up. Oof.
Part 2. Oh boy, he's gonna be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. Let's get to it. All right, guys. We will see y'all next week.
Bye, guys. We love you.
Love you. Bye.